Hello gamers, I hope you're doing well. Today, we're diving into clearing the workshop of Brilliant Light, Easy Mode. I know we're a bit behind the curve with hard mode being the latest update, but I believe this is still valuable for many players out there. Not everyone has the time or energy to grind every day to keep up with the fast-paced progression. Whether you're someone who logs in just to complete dailies, a casual player who enjoys taking the game at a more relaxed pace, or a new player to the game, this guide is for you. So if you haven't cleared easy mode yet and you're looking for some tips, I hope you find this helpful. Alright, let's start from the very bottom of the dungeon, the Demon's Castle entrance. If you like a more detailed guide for this run, I did one video about it which I'll link in the description. You definitely will learn a thing or two after watching that video. So for my setup, I have Jinwoo with Plum A1 and a Grimoire A3. If you have both at A1, that is great. That's all you need for his main weapons. I just got unlucky and lost by 50-50 to 2 Grimoires and a custom draw. Anyway, it's still good, no need to talk about the losses. Few alternatives I could think of for the weapons are Moon Shadow if you don't have the Plum, Skadi if you don't have the Grimoire, and the new SSR weapon from the summer event looks nice if you don't have either of the Skadi or the Grimoire. But I cannot guarantee it as I didn't level it up. Moving on to the build, I'm using the 4-piece one-hit kill with 4-piece Berserker. The reason behind this build is the ultimate playstyle, where I bet most of my damage with Jinwoo's ult. I'll try to set up all the damage increase I can after the boss is broken. Ideally, I'll remove 20 to 40 times of its HP bar depending on the timing of the buffs or if it will crit. We'll talk about stacking the buffs in a while. For some Jinwoo skills, I'm using the Rush for some break damage and the Vacuum Wave with the almighty break damage. The great thing about this is its additional effect that when the skill hits, the target will have 10% damage taken debuff, which we can sync with the other buffs that we'll talk later. For the blessings, I took the Boss Layer for an additional 8% damage increase, Dagger Technique for another damage increase when the enemy is below 70%, Bloodlust, which I suggest you always bring when you try to do this dungeon, as it will increase your attack and decrease defense of the enemies, and the Mana Rampage for an additional attack. You don't have to worry about the mana consumption as long as you do normal attacks in between of your rotation. That's it for Jinwoo's setup. Moving on to the hunters, I've picked Cha, Alicia, and Maylin. Cha for the additional extra 12% crit stats, basically when you use her support skill and she'll apply the brand effect that increases your crit rate and crit damage for a few seconds. Alicia for the emergency cleanse, shield, and freezing the bosses. Then Maylin for an additional attack percent, decreased damage taken, plus a little bit of healing. For the equipments, it's their standard builds. On Cha, you don't need to touch anything, she's just here for her support skill. For Alicia, specifically on this dungeon, you can change her build into Guardian, so when she shields, Jinwoo will gain an additional 10% damage buff from the set. Then Maylin with her Destroyer set for a faster gauge recharge. Finally, for the Shadow, I prefer bringing Igris for an additional crit chance. You can swap him with Blades if you prefer the additional attack instead. That would be all for the setup. Let's get started. Once again, we have a dedicated video on how to clear Cerberus, which I'll link in the description. Right at the start, Cerberus will do a laser beam. First thing here is to do a shadow step. Yeah, we don't want that. Take 2. Again, let's do a shadow step.
There's been a change in the atmosphere. I see it all.
Once behind him, use Cha's support skill for the crit stats, while using your skill 1 and skill 2 for break damage. Then Alicia to freeze him so you can use one of your weapon skill. You can also use Maylin's skill here if you have been damaged. After that, save your support skills. You'll need that to set up later when Cerberus is broken.
There's been a change in the atmosphere.
In this part where Cerberus is in the verge of breaking, all of my skills are in cooldown. Sequentially, I've used Vacuum for the 10% damage increase, Cha's skill for the crit stats, lastly Alicia's skill to disable Cerberus. Then as we can see on the buffs list, we still have the buff for the Plum and Malin's skill, which should make this ult deal a little bit more. Take note of the setup as we'll need to use that on Vulcan later. Alright, then we'll just proceed to chunk the HP of Cerberus until it's all gone.
Wonder how many levels I'll get here. Wonder how many levels. There's been a change in the atmosphere.
I'll freeze you.
Wonder how many time for a counterattack.
Light strike.
I need to hunt. Explode!
I'll freeze you.
I see it all. I'll end it. Now! I still have a long way to go.
Next up is the Burning Overpass. Feel free to skip this one if you find it easy to clear. Check timestamps for the next part. In this run, it's fairly simple to clear. The monsters here don't have a break gauge, meaning they'll take full damage from the start. If you want to get the best blessings you can to help you clear Vulcan, then aim for the following. An increase in ultimate damage should be the best you can pick. Just don't pick a lot of them, as when I tried picking 2 ultimate increase, I cannot feel them stacking. Other few choices are decrease, attack, HP, and defense of the enemies, increase in your crit stats, or increase in your attack, HP, and defense stats. For this run, I'm hoping I could get the highest ultimate increase so I can showcase the ultimate build of Jinwoo.
Don't move. I won't. Very much. Okay. I got one. This is the end. Light strike. Don't move. That won't work. Trouble. Here's a treat. Target located. This is the end. Light strike. You only get one chance. Don't move.
Okay, this last selection makes me think twice. I'm tempted to pick the ultimate skill even if it's rare only, but the increased dash count is also very good as it would give me more chances to dodge if I'm in a pinch with Vulcan. But in the end, I picked the dash count and I hope I could get an ultimate increase on the next dungeon.
I did it.
Next up is the Demon's Castle 25th floor. I also have a separate dedicated video on how to clear this, and I'll link it on the description. For my setup, nothing was changed since the Cerberus run, so we can skip discussing this again. If you want to review the setup, feel free to check on the timestamp. Alright, a good update on this part, by the way, is the first boss doesn't do its invisibility skill anymore. Before, this was really annoying encounter due to invisibility that you'll need to freeze it before it stops doing that skill. Now it skips that part and ramps forward directly.
Target located. This is the end. Stronger. A light, don't move. Penetrate. I won't let you get away. Storm. Let the battle begin.
Ideally, on this next boss, you wanted to have a breaker to stop its skill. However, we didn't bring any, so we'll rely on Alicia's shield and Maylin's damage reduction buff. I'll also use Maylin's ult here so it gets available on the final boss.
I got one. This is the end. Holy shit. Stronger. You only get one chance. Don't move. Penetrate. Rage on. It's time to freeze. I won't. Chop them. Very pushing. Target located. This is the end.
For the final boss, this will do the same attack as the second one.
Here I am. Here's a cheat. I need a catnap. Target located. This is the end. Faster. Stronger. Successful prediction. Holy sword. You only get one chance. Don't move.
Maylin will get eliminated tanking this skill, but it's fine as I can release her ult and buff, which should be enough time for Alicia and Cha to finish it off.
Leave it to me. Stronger. Sword of light. Don't move. It's inescapable. Target located. Claim victory.
And for the second blessing run, you definitely want a breaker on this. The enemies here are very tough and it would be nearly impossible to get all 3 blessings clear without breaking them. You can check this run on how important breaking is.
Practice. Back off. Unavoidable. No forgiveness. Here. Enemies. I won't back down. Light strike. Don't move. No forgiveness. Counter time. I have enough strength now. An opening. Hang in there. Target located. This is the end. Light strike. Light strike. Stronger. Don't move. Leave it to me. It's my turn! Water Dragon Power! Counter time! An opening! No running away! Counter time! Steady now! I'll give it my all! Target located! This is the end! Stronger! Stronger! It's my turn! An opening! No running away! Give it my all! Hang in there! I won't back down! I have enough strength now, but... Give it my all! Steady now! No running away! Target located! This is the end! Faster! Ah! You only get one chance! Ah!
Sadly, I wasn't able to get an ultimate buff skill, so let's hope the stat decrease blessings we've got is enough to take down VULCAN.
Mission complete.
Alright, we're on the finale of this video. We will now tackle VULCAN. For this setup, this is still the same on CERBERUS. Nothing was changed as they're both weak to water and wind element. No changes to Hunter and the Shadows as well. If you want to review the setup, feel free to check it on the timestamps. Also, I forgot to mention, here are the alternative blessings you can use if you don't have the blessings I've equipped. Double-edged sword if you are confident with your dodging skills or if you've memorized VULCAN's skill set. Weakness detection, flat percentage increase if you attack with wind or water element skills. And Assassin's proficiency, attack increase when hitting from the back. Okay, let's go ahead and clear this one. First up is VULCAN's 3-part attack where he slams the ground, and in each instance, the range widens. Stay outside for the first 2 attack and ready to shadow step for the last one.
I see it all.
After moving backside, I've used Cha's support skill for the additional crit stats and my breaking skills. Next is Alicia to freeze VULCAN so I could spam more of my skills. Ready to dodge when he attempts to charge on your current direction. Wait for a while before shadow stepping again as he'll do a scream at the end of the run. Next is he'll jump and slam his butt on the ground. Ready to dodge and shadow step as well. After this, make sure to save your support skills to set it up later when he's broken. You'll need all the buffs you need before ulting after VULCAN is broken. He will then back off and proceed to use Flamethrower, ready your dodge, and Shadow Step. Use your breaking skills as soon as it's available, but you want to make sure not to break him when your other skills are still in cooldown. Here I'm about to break VULCAN and most of my skills are ready. I've used Cha initially to increase my crit stats, summoned my shadows for some additional damage, Alicia to further disable it and provide a shield, Maylin for the additional attack. I was spamming my vacuum skill here for another 10% increase, but it didn't go off for some reason, so it went to use my ultimate right away. With this setup, we're able to take 23 times of its HP bar. Also take note, the first time VULCAN gets off the field is when it reaches 100 times HP bar. So if you're close at that threshold before unleashing your ultimate, make sure he isn't doing his animation to exit the field, the part where he puts his weapon on the ground, as on that time, he is already invulnerable, making your ult wasted. A good thing to keep in mind, while the animation of VULCAN of summoning meteors, make sure to spam your auto attack to generate your mana. You can stop auto-attacking when it's full. The meteors are easy to dodge, just start sprinting in circles and the moment it goes to touch you, press dodge and you should be fine. Go to the yellow circle after dodging to avoid taking huge damage. After this, Vulcan will get back to the field and start off with a charge and scream at the end. Ready your dodge and shadow step after the final scream. Then do the same setup we've done at the start for a maximum damage output.
Explode. Time for a counterattack. I see it all.
One thing to note here, when his HP reaches 65 to 75 times, he'll jump at the center and 2 golden rocks will be summoned in the field. He will charge at your current direction, so make sure to stay behind those golden rocks, as he'll be in break state after charging into it. Another note is he'll get out of the field again at 45 to 50 times HP bar. Make sure to set up your ultimate before it goes out again, or save it when it's back on the field.
Unworthy opponent. Explode.
Spam auto attacks again to recover mana and dodge the meteors.
Time for a counterattack.
After Vulcan is back on the field, he'll do the same 3-part attack like the skill he used from the start, so dodge accordingly.
I see it all.
In this part, you'll have a small space to move from his attacks, so be careful. Also take note when you're shadow stepping, as you might get hit by the walls of flame. I suggest when he's doing his attacks, especially the one where he spins, just straight run away from him and wait to shadow step after the skill is done.
I see it all.
If ever you are hit by the flame walls, just get out quickly. You can also summon your shadows here to divert his attention and attack them instead, making sure you can free hit on the side or in the back.
Now, shut up. Enough with the jokes. Feel the wrath of Thetis. Explode. I see it all.
One final thing to note, when Vulcan reaches 20 to 25 times of its HP bar, he will again jump at the middle of the field and gain a very huge shield. So make sure to reserve Malin support skill to remove that shield. If you don't have Malin, then Dongsu can be an alternative for removing the shield. After this, set up your ultimate the way we are doing from the start. If you don't have your ult up, then go and straight up spam everything you can to drain his HP. There's one more thing actually, when his HP drops into 10 times or below, he will summon meteors everywhere and in your current location. Make sure to dodge it, as getting hit by it will crowd control Jinwoo and could potentially end your life. Prioritize dodging than dealing damage on this part. But if you can do damage while dodging effectively, then that works too. You can see this clip for reference. Alright, we've successfully defeated Vulcan. Thank you for joining me on this run, and I hope you can clear Vulcan with these tips I've given. That's it for this video. I hope you find this helpful, and if you do, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more contents like these. And if you have a friend that could benefit from this, feel free to share it to them. And if you don't want to do any of those, that's perfectly fine too. You watching this video is more than enough. Until next time, happy gaming!